Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A. Before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Louis Vuitton Pochette Accessoire in the Damier Ebene canvas. Alright, so grab your coffee, grab your tea, let's start your workout, let's go to work, let's do your laundry, whatever it is that you do, come join me. We have some awesome topics to cover today. Starting with the first question from Godric Gryffindor. I am currently working towards buying my first luxury piece, specifically a compact wallet from Louis Vuitton. I am not sure whether to go for the key pouch or the multi-cart, both in the Marine Rouge empreinte leather, as I love the look of them, or to go for the Rosalie coin purse in monogram with the rose ballerine interior, as I love the compartments inside. What are your thoughts? Fantastic question, and I do have pictures of all three of those items, and I will insert them right now. I think all three of these are great. They're very versatile, and I'm super excited for you to add your first luxury piece. Out of the three, I end up leaning more towards the Rosalie coin purse and the key pouch. Not saying that the multi-cart isn't great, but I still prefer the other two. Now, what I really would like to say is it depends on what you see yourself getting in the future for your collection. I mean, as far as what you see yourself initially getting when it comes to a handbag, because if you see yourself going more for canvas pieces, I would recommend the Rosalie. If you see yourself getting more empreinte pieces, then I would go for the key pouch, because by going for either one of those small leather goods, you can really get a feel for the brand. You can really get a feel for the material that you would like to add sooner to your collection to see how it ends up working out. Because let's say that you really like the empreinte leather, you like the idea of it, but maybe as time goes by, you're not crazy about it, and you would much rather end up going for a canvas bag instead of going for a empreinte bag. You know what I mean? So that's the way that I see it. That's why I've always recommended going for a small leather good first, to get a feel for the brand, to get a feel for the material before you end up spending a larger amount of money on a handbag. So it's all personal preference, but like I said, all three of them are great small leather goods, and hopefully that was able to answer your question, and good luck. Next question from Alejandra Flores. What are your thoughts on the upcoming PVC Chanel flap, blue, pink, green combo for the summer collection? I kind of like it in a weird way, even though it's see-through. Would you consider anything of this collection? This is a fabulous question, and I do have a picture of the PVC Chanel flap, and I will insert that right now. So this bag comes in at $2,600 here in the States. There's also a larger version, and that one comes in at $3,000. And my thoughts on these, I think they are awesome. I absolutely love them. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me, and people will think that they're so tacky and it's so ridiculous and it's this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. But I think they are so, so fun. However, I will not be adding one of these to my collection, because I also have to be realistic. The price points for me don't warrant what you end up getting for this bag. Yes, it is Chanel, and yes, it does have lambskin leather and the beautiful details, but at the end of the day, it's like 99% plastic, you know? And at some point, I feel that when it comes to these plastic bags, yeah, you're paying for the name. You know, I can't deny that. At least that's how I see it. I know a lot of people might disagree with that as well, but it's all personal preference, you know, but I still think that they're wonderful. And I've always been attracted to the plastic bags. I have for years. I mean, Chanel has been introducing them I think every 3 years or every 4 years. I know Hermes also had them. And there's also a few other fashion houses that have them from time to time. And I just think that they're so fun. Case in point, of course, they weren't Chanel, but back in the day, I don't even know if they're still available, but back in the day, Dooney and Burke had plastic lunch totes. You know, it's kind of like, you know, like a paper sack, paper lunch sack or what have you. It had the same silhouette. It was made out of plastic. It had leather handles, and it had the Dooney and Burke design on the outside. I had a few of those. I loved them. I loved to put my lunch in them. I liked the fact that they were see-through. A lot of my coworkers were like, "Oh my God, you're so tacky. That's so ridiculous, blah, blah, blah." But I liked it. You know what I mean? I thought that they were so fun. Perfect for beach bags. Now I know that a lot of the plastic, a lot of the PVC pieces are known for yellowing yellowing over time when the sun hits it, you know, but like I said, I think that they're fun. I wouldn't end up adding one to my collection unless they were a lot less expensive, you know, because the way that I see it, whether it's $2,600 or $3,000, that's that amount of money I would much rather put towards an all leather handbag. But if it makes your heart sing when you see it, and you're going to get a lot of joy out of it, that's all that matters, you know, not about it being a leather handbag or it being a plastic handbag. But I think that they're so fun, you know, but at the end of the day, it's plastic. I know that. I have to be realistic, as I said before, kind of like the Valentino flip-flops. They're plastic, you know, and I know that at some point you're paying for mostly the name that they are, because just because Valentino's plastic is not better than Joe Schmo's plastic, that's $50. They're both going to have the same amount of wear. They're both they might end up yellowing over time or what have you. I think that when it really starts to weigh in is when you're talking about leather and other materials. I think that they're so fun, and they have a few other designs that have the plastic as well. I know there's a backpack, there's also a tote, but I think that they're fun. You know, it's just a fun piece to have, and if you enjoy it for the amount of time that you have it, then that's all that matters. But yeah, I mean, I wish they were a little bit less expensive. Otherwise, I'd end up going for it. But for now, I will definitely appreciate it from afar. But what do you guys think? Are you guys not feeling the whole PVC, the plastic thing? I know that they also had, like for their runway, they had the plastic boots, you know, the plastic shoes and the plastic skirt. There's maybe a little too much for my own taste, but I'm also not the most fashionable person on the planet either. So I think it's all a matter of personal preference. But great question. Hopefully I was able to answer it. Next question from Tiara Hudson. What do you think about the Louis Vuitton perfume, and do you think it's worth it, especially at the price point that it has? It's one that I love, but I just can't get over how much it costs. This is a great question, and I know that Louis Vuitton recently added a new scent to their fragrance lineup. It's supposed to be very citrusy. I'm really excited about it. I have yet to go to the boutique and check it out, because the ones that they currently have, unfortunately, don't end up working out with my body chemistry. Some of them are a little bit too intense, they're a little too overwhelming, and others just smell absolutely dreadful on me, to be honest. But when I smell them on other people, or even when I walk into the boutique, I'm just like, oh, I love the way that it smells. But again, I can't do them justice. So hence why I'm so excited about this new scent. Hopefully it'll end up working out. But as many of you know, not only am I a handbag addict, I am also a perfume addict. So I like to take a few things into consideration when it comes to some of these fragrances that are, for lack of a better phrasing, that are unforgiving on the wallet. Some of my favorite fragrances are Bond No. 9s, and you know, they're anywhere from like $295 or $275, $295, $395, and they can get a little bit more expensive. But I see it as, first and foremost, if I love the way that it smells, if it ends up working out with my body chemistry, if it has great lasting power, and if it's the type of fragrance, if it's the type of scent that a little bit goes a long way, I much rather go for that fragrance versus a $60, $70 bottle of perfume that maybe I have to put 5 or 6 different sprays on, and after 2-3 hours it ends up going away, and then I have to reapply it, because I feel that I'll go through those bottles a lot quicker versus this one might last me a little bit longer. So that's the way that I kind of see it. But even with all of that said, I also like to think of the type of scent that it is. For example, let's say that my perfume collection is 99.9% floral, and this new one that caught my attention is a very sweet fragrance. There's more of a chance that I will get sick of the sweet one because I'm not used to it, and then I'll end up going back to my florals, and then I end up getting stuck with, you know, a $200 to $300 bottle perfume that I liked for 2 weeks or anything like that. So I really like to test it out for as long as I can. I like to get a sample and see how it ends up working out, and of course it can always change. You know, you might love it today and then you might hate it 6 months from now. I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to fragrances, to be honest. So I might not be the best person to ask, but those again are some of the things that I take into consideration. So hopefully that was able to answer your question. Next question from Beth Herrera. Will you do story times again? They were so fun. Thank you so much. And I have thought about reintroducing them onto Saturday's lineup. I know I had a lot of fun doing them, and I think it's been what, like a year, maybe a year and a half since I did a story time Saturday, and I've had a few things happen here and there, you know, and sometimes I'm thinking, no one cares. Of course this would only happen to me, you know, but yeah, I think that would be fun to do. So hopefully I'll be able to include those into our random Saturdays as the weeks go by. So hopefully that was able to answer your question. Next question from Viv. My sales associate left last month. I had to approach someone else newer today and been told that they won't sell me anything as I'm only allowed 3 pieces a year. What? 3 in a year is just not possible for the Louis Vuitton lovers at all. I spoke with the shift manager and even the online customer service, but no one cares. I'm really disappointed and upset from Louis Vuitton as how they treat their loyalty customers. Have you ever heard of this? How would you deal with this if this was your experience with Louis? Love from Ireland. This is a fantastic question. And I have heard of this here and there, but any time I've asked my sales associates, or I've asked at the boutiques that that I normally go to, they look at me like I have a third eye. You know, they're just like, no, you know, I've never heard of that or anything like that. So I'm not too sure. Here in the United States, I know that they're very strict as far as wanting to buy something maybe from another state or another city, somewhere where you don't have the possibility to go to pick up the item. And if you were to do if you wanted to buy something, you know, and have it shipped to your house, you have to have a certain shopping history. I can't remember if it's a certain dollar amount or if it's a certain an item amount that you have to have purchased within the last year in order for it to be shipped to your house. You know I've heard of that before, but as far as being limited to 3 pieces a year, I have not heard that at all, but I would love to get your guys' feedback. If you have experiences, if you've heard this before. I think this came up on a previous Minks Monday. I think it was like 6 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know if it has to do with the boutique or if it's only online or what it is, but I mean, I might have completely missed it. But like I said before, anytime I've asked any manager or any sales associate, like I said, they look at me and they're like, no, you could buy as much as you want, no problem. The only thing that I can think of is I think there's a limit in Paris. I think that's what we were talking about 6 months ago. There was a buying limit in Paris, but I thought it was per day that you couldn't buy a certain amount. But I can't remember to save my life, to be honest, and I wish I could be more helpful. But again, if you guys have any information on this, whether you live in Ireland or wherever you live, if you know about, having a certain limit to how many items you can buy a year, let us know in the comment section down below, because that is very, very interesting. How would I deal with it? I mean, I'd be bummed out too, you know, especially if you want, I mean, I can't really see why you would want to put a limit. Maybe because I know a lot of people they travel and they buy things to resell. I mean, I know that has come up before, but as far as you going into, it's like me going into my local boutique and then them saying, hey, you can only buy 3 items a year. I'd be like, what? Seriously? Why? You know, I'd want to know the reasons behind it. But again, if you guys have any information, let us know in the comment section down below. Next question from Miss Pouty46. I know you are a casual dresser, but I wanted to know what your favorite evening clutches are. Also, what are your thoughts on the Chanel Timeless Clutch? I love the look of it, but I can't afford to buy a bag that can only be used as an evening bag. I think it is one of the dressiest bags out there. I can't imagine it being used in a day setting. This is a fabulous question, and I also am a huge fan of the Chanel Timeless Clutch. Anytime I've seen it at the boutique, especially the quilted one, I'm just like, oh, I love it with the kiss lock closure. I think it's gorgeous. But kind of like you, I want a bag that's a little bit more versatile, you know, something that I can use in the evening and I can also use during the day. And as much as I like clutches, sometimes being able to put them underneath my arm or holding on to them for longer periods of time, I'm just like, I'd rather have a shoulder bag, or I'd rather have a crossbody or anything like that. So some of my favorites that I like to call clutches anyways. The first one is the Chanel Wallet on Chain. because this one I have used it in informal settings, and I just end up hiding the chain inside. I don't have to carry too much, and then I could also take the chain out and rock it during the day as a crossbody bag, as a shoulder bag, or what have you. So the versatility of this, the fact that I can transition from day to night very easily, is something that I really appreciate about the wallet on chain from Chanel. Another one that I really like is the Dior wallet on chain, or just wallet on chains in general. And this one in particular, because when it comes to Dior, you can actually end up detaching the chain altogether. So you don't have to worry about giving that space. You know, you can end up maximizing your space, I should say, and being able to have a little bit, maybe more lipsticks, or maybe this, that, the other, and you don't have to give space to the chain in here, you know, kind of like the one from Chanel. So I like these, you know, because they're very versatile. You can use them as a clutch, you can use them as a crossbody, you can use them as a regular handbag. Yeah, that timeless clutch, I've always been a big fan of it, but it's definitely the way that I see it. It's one of those bags that I would only use here and there, versus something like this that I can use during the day, during the night, in any type of setting, no problem. So that's definitely what I end up leaning more towards. Wallet on chains in general from any fashion house, just because of their versatility. So hopefully that was able to answer your question. Next question from Miko Girly 99. I recently heard something interesting in a video about how sometimes we get so many items at once that you don't have enough time to bond with your new purchase. So it just sits there unused, even though you were so excited when you first bought it. Has this ever happened to you? This is a great question, and the thing that comes to mind for me is definitely the Valentino rock studs, because we all know I'm a super casual dresser. I'm not really a heel person. My favorite footwear of choice are sneakers or flats. So I've had them since August, and between the first couple of weeks, I think it was the first couple of weeks or the first couple of months, I think I used them once. You know, even though I was super excited about adding them to my wardrobe, but for the most part, I'd end up using other shoes. So that's the one that comes to mind the most. As far as handbags and small leather goods, I don't believe so. I don't believe so, because usually with those, I'm just like, I can't wait. You know, I cut up the tags, or let's say if I get 2 or 3 small leather goods at the same time, I'll use this one this day, and I'll use the other one this other day, or what have you. So I like to already start rotating them very quickly. So with bags and small leather goods, I don't think it's really happened. But with footwear, definitely, just because, I don't know. I mean, I love seeing heels, and I like wearing them from time to time, but I mean, sneakers for me always make my heart sing louder than anything else. So yeah, hopefully that was able to answer your question. Next question from Jen A. I just got my hands on a piece from the Louis Vuitton 2017 Christmas collection. What are your overall thoughts on those releases each year? How limited do you think the Louis Vuitton limited edition pieces are? Is it worth the money / investment, or are the adorable penguins and polar bears just suckering me in? This is a great question. And first and foremost, congratulations on your newest 2017 piece. I think that is awesome. All right, so what are my overall thoughts on those releases each year? I think that they're really cute. I appreciate them. I think that they have such beautiful, intricate designs, and I know a lot of people look forward to collecting them every single year. And like I said, I always appreciate them. Sometimes they're not for me just because they're a little too busy. I prefer something maybe a little bit more simple. I've had one other limited edition piece besides the one that I'm about to share with you guys, and I really liked it. I just really never used it. So it's all a matter of personal preference. And how limited do you think that the Louis Vuitton limited edition pieces are? There's 2 types of limited editions. There's the 1 in 5,000, and they have a stamp on the inside that tells you the piece number, you know, for like I said before, it might be 1 in 5,000, and it'll have from like the 2016 autumn collection and stuff like that. It'll have that stamped inside of the handbag or inside of the small leather good. And then there's also the time frame limited edition, which is where the illustration ones come in. You know, you can only get them from September to December. There's only a certain block of period that you can get them at the boutique, and then anything after that, then you have to go through the pre-loved market. So there's 2 ways of how they do limited edition pieces. Now, as far as are they worth the money / investment, or do I think that they're just adorable? Like I said before, I think they are so, so cute. I love the details that they have. And when you look at it as, is it an investment or is it worth the money? I personally think that if you like something and you enjoy using it, then it's absolutely worth the money, regardless. But as far as an investment, if you were to buy a limited edition piece, and let's say that that year's illustration was super, super popular. If you bought it and you kept it in mint condition, you never used it, you stored it somewhere where you didn't have to worry about humidity, you didn't have to worry about peeling or anything like that, and maybe in 5-6 years time you were to sell it, you might be able to get a little bit more than what you paid for, especially as I said before, because there's a lot of people that collect the illustration collections and maybe they missed out on it and they want to add it, you know, they want to add it to their collection. So that's always a possibility that would end up happening. But usually when it comes to these items, like here I have the Tahitian Demi-Azur, the silk screening that they have is known for chipping, and it's also known for yellowing. Like sometimes the silk screening is white and you'll see that over time it starts to yellow. And I'm actually surprised. I haven't really looked at it, very, very closely, but I haven't seen any chipping on this one. I'm surprised that I haven't had that happen, especially because I'm so rough on my mini pochettes. But you know, that's just something that you have to take into consideration. To me, if this was to chip, would it bum me out? Maybe for like a hot second, but more than anything, I'd be excited that I get to use it. You know, it's a really fun small leather good to add to my collection. It adds a lot of variety to what I have. So the joy of being able to use it would outweigh the type of wear that it would get over time, you know what I mean? But as far as buying it and then wanting to sell it for a little bit more down the line, I think that it would have to be in mint condition, unused, kept in a box, and it would have to be a very, very popular small leather good in order for you to get more than what you paid for when you did. But like I said, I think these are really fun. They add a great variety to any collection, and I don't know. I think that they're super cute. But just keep that in the back of your mind that they are known for chipping and they are also known for yellowing. So hopefully that was able to answer your question. Next question from Tarana6. What are your thoughts on the Louis Vuitton Mille? This bag has caught my eye in the empreinte leather, but I haven't seen many reviews online. For empreinte, the price point seems to be a steal. What are your thoughts? This is a fabulous question, and I do have a picture of the Louis Vuitton Mille, and I will insert that right now. This bag comes in at $27.10 here in the States. It's available in 4 different colors if I'm not mistaken, and I definitely agree with you about the empreinte version being a steal in comparison to the canvas version, because the canvas version comes in at $2,000. So for $710 more, you get an all leather handbag, and I feel that with this one, it's very versatile. It offers quite a bit for the price point that it has, especially because when you look at other empreinte bags, they're anywhere from $3,400, $3,600, $4,000. And this one, it's a lot of bag for the price point that it is. I do appreciate it. It's not necessarily for me just because I'm not a fan of the north-south design. I much rather go for something a little bit shorter, something that's easier to see my items at a glance. But regardless, this bag is absolutely beautiful, especially that red. And when I look at it in the canvas version, you know, I really like it. I mean, it's cute. It's nice. But when it comes to the all leather one, I mean, I feel that it really elevates the bag a lot more. So again, for the price point that it has, I much rather go for that one as well. So yes, you said it perfectly. It seems like it's a steal because of how much leather it has. So hopefully that was able to answer your question. Next question from Jack Ozabel. Hopefully I said that correctly. I thought about selling my Celine Nano luggage in the beautiful tricolor combination of brown, black, and white. I bought the bag pre-loved and I love it so much. The only reason why I'm selling it is because I became uncomfortable with the wear and tear that it has when I bought it. I've had it for 2 years now, but I babied the bag because I don't want to add any more wear or damage. Am I crazy for selling my pre-loved Celine Nano just to buy a brand new one, considering Celine doesn't have the best resale value? I just want to use my Nano without the fear of damaging it easily. This is a wonderful, wonderful question, and I know exactly what you're talking about, because the same thing kind of happened to me when I had my mini luggage in the Souris. I love the color. I thought it was beautiful. You know, it was like a chameleon. It was so hard to capture the true beauty of it. But I also found myself babying it in a sense, because anytime I would put it on the crook of my arm, I would kind of hold it at, at a distance, because I knew that it would rub on my jeans and I would immediately end up having a lot more color transfer. And then once I get that color transfer, sometimes I feel that I don't really end up enjoying the item afterwards. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird, because the Damier Azur Neverfull, it has color transfer, but I love it to pieces, and I would never get rid of it and I would still use it. But other bags, sometimes I feel that it turns me off. You know what I mean? Are you guys like that as well? So like I said, I also babied it, but now that I have the black Nano, in the short amount of time that I've had the Nano, I have enjoyed it 1,000 times more than I ever did the Souris, just because I don't have to think twice about it. I don't have to baby it. It is what it is. And I get a lot more joy out of it, So that's the way that I see it. If you can end up selling something that you might like, but you don't really use too often, I would much rather sell that and put that money towards an item that you will use all the time, because then you'll get a lot more joy out of it. You'll get a lot more use out of it, and the peace of mind of not having to worry that something's going to happen to it, and I know a lot of people might think that's silly. They're just like, well, it is what it is, but I don't see it that way, so that's why I understand what you're talking about. You're not crazy. You're my kind of crazy, because I'm the same exact way, and even with my Phantom was black, and I never had to think twice about what kind of clothing I was wearing or anything like that. The only thing is that bag got crazy heavy. So if you can sell it, and then even though you might not get a crazy amount of money, from it, because as you mentioned, Celine doesn't have the best resale value, still, it's funds that can go towards a new one that you can enjoy for many years, and then the cost per wear also ends up being a lot less because you end up using it so much. So hopefully that was able to answer your question, and good luck. And the last question from Marlene M. Have you ever owned a Louis Vuitton Hobo? If yes, what do you think? Great question. I have had a couple Hobos before. I had the Artsy, and I also had the Galliera. Both of those bags are beautiful, and neither one of them are in my collection anymore. And really what it comes down to is I've always been attracted to a Hobo. I love the way that they look on the shoulder, the ease of carrying it, but I much rather end up going for a structured handbag, because usually when I set a handbag down, I like to be able, I want it to keep its shape, and Hobos sometimes don't end up doing that. So the lack of structure, the lack of not maintaining its shape was what really drives me crazy. Even though I think that they're gorgeous, they just don't work out for me. So hopefully that was able to answer your question. All right, you guys, so that does it for our Minks Monday Q&A. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help. You had some amazing questions this week. Now for this week's lineup, I have 2 videos, I believe, 2 more videos that I want to do for you guys. They might be up either Wednesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Friday. I'm not too sure, because again, my schedule is completely crazy, and I've been having a lot of fun reading all of your guys' comments, and I cannot wait till everything just goes back to normal and we can go back to our conversation. But again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the red button down below and hitting that bell so you're notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And I will see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day.